Alrighty, good afternoon. It's 1 p.m. We're coming back from our morning recess. Amanda, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Richardson?
Here.
Commissioner Thayer?
Here.
Commissioner Schroeder?
Here.
Alrighty, we have a quorum. This afternoon on the agenda, we've got 2 land use items, both rezones. The sequence of the hearings will run the same for each. We'll ask staff to present the application. We'll invite the applicant to provide any additional information they feel we need to have. During that period, we may have questions for either staff or applicant. At that point, we'll open up for public comment, if any. After public comment, we'll ask staff and applicant to respond if there's issues that were raised, and we may have additional questions. And at that point, we'll proceed to a decision. And that decision could be to approve with conditions, to deny, or if we feel there's information that we still need that's not available to come to a conclusion, then we could continue. But that is generally the sequence that we follow for all public hearings. So I guess with that, I would ask for a motion to open public hearing on the RKR Ranch rezone.
Mr. Chairman, I move we open our hearing on RKR Ranch Rezone RZ-23-00030.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to open public hearing on the RKR Ranch rezone. 23-00030. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. We're in public hearing. Danny, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, commissioners. Good afternoon, everyone here. My name is Danny Klebaner. I'm a land use planner for Community and Economic Development Department here in Elbert County. Today, I will be presenting 2 cases, and the first one is RKR Ranch Rezone, case number RZ-23-00030. So, breaking into the details of this case, the request is for a rezoning, and the action would be a rezone from agriculture to agriculture residential. This property is located off of County Road 98, east of the Douglas-Elbert County line and west of County Road 5. If approved, the applicant also has an application for a minor plat that would be approved administratively and add 3 new 10-acre lots with no existing structures. The applicant and owner of this project is RKR Ranch LLC. BJ Robinson is the applicant and Grace Erickson is the applicant representative. The process for this case began back in July of 2022. A community meeting was held September 7th, 2022. The application was formally submitted March 7th of this year, and this application went out for referral from May 16th to June 7th. After that, there were a few back and forth messages between Elbert County Planning and the applicant about tract versus no tract, and that was resolved. And the hearing date for this was with the Planning Commission September 5th, where they voted to recommend approval. And tonight, today, this afternoon, the Board of County Commissioners meeting September 27th. All public hearing noticing complied with Elbert County zoning regulations and subdivision regulations 14-day advance notice. So you can see the county here. To the extreme west is RKR Ranch here by Douglas County. Here's an aerial map of the property. It is an 80-acre property. 30.15 acres are requesting to be rezoned in this application. There is no floodplain, no wetlands at this location, and the existing zoning and land use is agriculture, and the land use is currently ranch land. Here's another aerial map. You can see the property in its entirety here, and then to the west, we have 40-acre parcels, and to the east, the Kelly Air Park subdivision. Down to the south is a small station for Elbert County Fire District. Here's a look at the zoning map. The property in question is here in the middle, and then you have these agricultural parcels to the west, and the Kelly Air Park subdivision to the east, as well as this Elbert Fire Protection District lot. That's only 3 acres. So throughout the referral period, we received responses from the Assessor's Office, Douglas County, Colorado Division of Water Resources, the Colorado Geologic Survey, Kiowa Conservation District, Mountain View Electric, Elbert County Public Works, and our Elbert County engineer. The applicant has acknowledged and/or resolved all comments raised during this referral process. Of course, in the referral period, there are some agencies that don't respond. In this case, the Elbert Fire District, Elbert School District, Elbert County Department of Health and Human Services, Elbert County Sheriff's Department, Hazardous Materials and Waste Management Division, and the Environmental Agriculture Program did not respond to our referral request. So in Elbert County, Article 3C4 lists 6 criteria for all rezone requests. The Planning Commission and Board of County Commissioners are to consider these 6 criteria in their review for rezoning applications. A, whether the proposed rezoning conforms and is generally consistent with the goals and policies of our comprehensive plan. This proposal did conform to policies and goals in our comprehensive plan. Policy WS4 states that new development shall conform to state laws covering domestic water supply and septic systems. This proposal complied with that policy. In addition, the natural resources topic area, EN2, states that new development should minimize negative impacts to adjacent agricultural lands and designated open space. This proposal allows for limited residential uses and should not adversely affect the working surrounding agricultural land. B, whether this proposed rezoning is compatible with surrounding land uses. The subject property is in a rapidly developing area of the county, and the closest lots, smaller than 5 acres, 3 to 4 acre lots in the Kelly Air Park, are about 1/4 mile away. Staff believes that the proposed rezoning of 30 acres of a larger 80-acre parcel to agriculture residential is compatible with surrounding land uses, maintaining the residential and agricultural larger lot context in this area. C, whether this proposed rezoning would adversely impact the provision of public services. These AR zone lots will have their own wells and septic systems and private access. These lots should not create an adverse impact to surrounding property owners. Elbert County Public Works also reviewed the proposed rezoning and access and believes the access should not adversely impact provision of public services. D, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the environment. Since the future uses of these proposed lots will be confined to residences with limited agriculture, it's anticipated that the impact to the environment should be minimal. Staff believes that the rezoning will not adversely impact the environment. Building permit review and public works, septic review for on-site wastewater treatment systems with public health can identify site-specific environmental factors. The Division of Water Resources also reviewed the proposed well water supply and deemed it adequate. The Kiowa Conservation District had no objections with the rezoning or the minor plat. And then finally, E and F. E, whether the proposed rezoning would create unreasonable traffic congestion or burden the existing road system without improvements. This increase in density is minimal and will create limited traffic impact. The addition of the proposed lots is not believed to create unreasonable traffic burdens to the existing road system. Public Works reviewed this project and did not identify any improvements that would need to be made. And the lots will have private driveways. Finally, F, whether the proposed rezoning will not otherwise be detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of the inhabitants of Elbert County. This increase in density while retaining an agricultural context via rezoning from A to AR in an area that has already approved more dense development in the past should not be detrimental. The applicant has reasonably addressed neighbor concerns and questions from the community. This applicant has also been responsive to guidance from CED staff to address concerns raised about the proposal. Therefore, staff believes that the approval of this request will not be at the detriment of the county or surrounding neighbors. With that, planning staff found the following. This proposal is in general conformance with the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. The proposal meets the criteria for approval within Elbert County zoning regulations. 3, the proposal is compatible with existing and allowable land uses in the surrounding area. And 4, the proposal will not result in significant impact to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents and landowners of the surrounding area. Therefore, Elbert County Planning recommends to the Board of County Commissioners to approve the requested RKR Ranch rezone RZ-23-00030, subject to the following conditions. Number 1, the applicant will be required to remove the public hearing sign within 7 days of the decision. Number 2, the rezoning shall not become effective until all fees are paid, conditions of approval are met, and the exhibits are recorded. And 3, recordation of all appropriate documentation is to occur within 180 days of the Board of County Commissioners' approval. That concludes my presentation on RKR Ranch rezone. Thank you for your time on this one. I will leave the rezone exhibit up here, and just for reference, these would be the 3 lots in the minor plat. Again, that's an administrative decision by the Community and Economic Department head. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Any questions for staff at this time? Not yet. No. Just one for you, Danny. For the Planning Commission vote, was it unanimous? And if not, what were the concerns expressed?
The vote was unanimous from the Planning Commission on this one. I believe there were 5 commissioners present at the meeting, so it was 5-0.
Okay, thank you. That I'd invite the applicant rep up to present. Would be interested during the presentation. It was noted there were some community concerns that were taken care of. If you could tell us what those were. And then notice there was about a 1-year delay. I'm assuming that was working through water, but I'd be curious what the...
Was there a 1-year delay?
From community meeting in September 7th of 22 to now, so.
Yeah, so my client, BJ Robinson, RKR Ranch, brought me on board around the holidays to start with this project. So we moved forward fairly quickly. One of the issues that we kind of went back and forth with staff on, and we did end up getting resolved, was making sure we had adequate access to the remaining portion of the existing agricultural parcel. So that was kind of the main item that we were working on. Danny gave a thorough, great presentation as usual. One of the items that came up, and I think was in his staff report, was the proximity to Kelly Air Park and making sure that residents that potentially move into this development, if zoned, are aware of that. We plan on including that in our listing. We believe it's an asset to anyone who would want to locate there. They do have a soaring club that's open to the public, so we can see this being kind of an addition, complementary to Kelly Air Park. I know that traffic came up during the Planning Commission hearing. We anticipate up to 29 trips maximum per day at the maximum development allowed, and that is per our traffic letter, per our engineer. Those are the primary comments. There were comments about loose dogs, but I don't think that has anything to do with, that's a present issue, it sounds like. I don't think it has to do with this project. But yeah, other than that, I don't have anything else to add, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
All righty, thank you. Any questions for Grace?
Yeah, I got a quick question. Those right-of-ways down in the lower left there, what are they for?
Those are power lines. Yeah, and there are easements. They are on the title, which I think is in your packet, but I think there are 3 different easement documents on the title for the property, so the property owners will be aware. Just generally restricts building in that location.
I don't have any other questions. I guess we'll open for public comment in a moment, but just while you are here, the conditions of approval that were listed, would those be acceptable if we were to
Yes.
adopt them? Yes, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I'll open this for public comment. Is there anybody that has comment on this project? Okay, seeing none, I'll close public comment and ask for any final comments and perhaps a motion.
It looks like there's lots of lots in this area of a similar size, so it's a highly developed area. So, Mr. Chairman, I didn't give Dallas a chance to talk. I apologize.
You're doing fine.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve RKR Ranch Rezone RZ-23-00030, and the applicant has accepted the conditions of approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the RKR Ranch Rezone with the conditions of approval that were presented. If there's no final comments, I would ask those that are in favor to vote aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. All righty. So if I could get a motion to close public hearing on this item.
Mr. Chairman, I move we close our hearing on RKR Ranch Rezone RZ-23-00030.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close public hearing on the RKR Ranch Rezone. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. We'll give them a moment. In the same general area of the county, we have a second rezone application, the Schluter, I believe, Schulter. We'll just call it RZ 22-003. I would accept a motion to open public comment on this.
I'll make a stab at it since I'm Schroeder. I can say those SCHs, okay? Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we open public hearing on Schluter rezone RZ 22-0003.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to open public hearing on the Schluter rezone. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. So Danny, you're up again.
All right. Thank you, commissioners. This project is very similar to the previous in that it's a rezone, but there are some differences, so let's dive into this one. This is Schluter rezone case number RZ-22-0003. Again, my name's Danny, and I'm a land use planner here in Elbert County. So the details for this, it again is a rezoning and a rezoning from agriculture to agriculture residential. The location of this proposed rezoning is 1227/1331 County Road 118, Elizabeth, Colorado 80107. This presentation is about a rezoning, and if approved, the applicant has an application for a minor plat that would add 2 10-acre lots and 1 19.9-acre lot that has existing structures. That will be decided administratively pending this rezone application. The applicant for this proposed rezone is Stephen Schluter, and the applicant representative is Camille Courtney. The owners of this property are Stephen Schluter and Tonya Schluter. The process for this application began in August of 2021, and a community meeting was held October 18th of 2021. The applicant submitted formally February 10th of 2022, and it went out for a referral from February 10th to March 3rd, 2022. The hearing for the Planning Commission was a week and a day ago, September 19th, and today is the board meeting. All noticing was completed in accordance with zoning and subdivision regulations. A little information about the delay in this application was water. Stephen Schluter needed to get allocation for the water and finally received that in late June of this year. All noticing complied with Elbert County zoning regulation and subdivision regulation 14-day advance notice. The location of this project is about 5 miles north of the previous project we just looked at, off of County Road 5 and 118. Here's an aerial view of the property. You can see a smaller 40-acre subdivision here to the west, known as the Kirby subdivision. And further west, we have the Clearview Acres PUD. South of Clearview Acres are the LaDonna Vista and Pikeview subdivisions here. Here's a closer look at the property in question. It's 39.9 acres. In the top corner here, the northeastern corner, there is a direct link internet tower that's visible here, and the existing residents are here, and then there's an abandoned residence here. Here's a look at the zoning map. Again, here's the Clearview Acres PUD, the Kirby subdivision, LaDonna Vista, and Pike View down here. To the north of this parcel are 2 agricultural parcels, a large 60-acre and larger 220-acre agricultural parcel. To the south, there's a 35-acre agricultural lot with a residence and another 35-acre agricultural. To the east is that same 220-acre agricultural property. So the applicant acknowledged and/or resolved all comments raised during the referral process. The Division of Water Resources referral took the longest, and they determined there was adequate water supply. A total of 3 acre-feet of water per year for the 3 lots with an augmentation plan is in place. Mountain View Electric has no objections. All necessary utility easements were included. The assessor had no objections. Because of the proximity to Douglas County in this application as well, they were referred and they had no objections. Elbert County Public Works had no objections. All referral questions were resolved with the Elizabeth Fire Protection District. The applicant will pay cash in lieu for the 2 lots created. Again, this application was filed in February of 2022 and completed 2 formal reviews. The first was February 10th to March 3rd. After the first referral, the applicant worked with the State of Colorado Division of Water Resources to address water supply issues and with Mountain View Electric Association to address utility easements. The existing direct link internet tower easements were also added to the exhibit after receiving those for the plat, and Direct Link was asked if they had any concerns about the rezoning and minor plat applications. 3 agencies did not respond to our referral request. That was Elizabeth School District, Elbert County Building, and Direct Link Internet Service Provider. Again, these are the same rezone criteria that the last application went through. Article 3C4 of our zoning regulations lists 6 criteria. And A, whether the proposed rezoning conforms and is generally consistent with the goals and policies of the comprehensive plan. Elbert County supports residential development by encouraging a range of lot sizes and residential densities associated with available roads and infrastructure, and by encouraging the designation of, hold on one second. Ooh. And by encouraging the designation of open space. Why is that doing that? Okay. B, whether the proposed rezoning is compatible with surrounding land uses. In this area, there's several 10-acre lots, and it is very similar to compatible to surrounding land uses. We find that this lot, these new lots are compatible with surrounding land uses. C, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the provision of public services. These AR zone lots, again, will have their own well and septic and private access to County Road 118, not creating an adverse impact to surrounding property owners. Public Works also reviewed this proposed rezoning and found no adverse impact to public services. D, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the environment. These are larger lot proposed rezonings, 10-acre lots with limited residential use. Staff does not believe this proposed rezoning will adversely impact the environment. Kiowa Conservation District was also referred to, and they had no objections. E, whether the proposed rezoning would create unreasonable traffic congestion or burden existing road systems without improvements. The increase in density proposed with this application will generate very limited traffic impact. The addition of 2 proposed lots is not believed to create unreasonable traffic burdens to the existing road system. Public Works did not identify any improvements that would need to be made on County Road 118. And finally, F, whether the proposed rezoning will not otherwise be detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of the inhabitants of Elbert County. Planning staff believes that this rezoning request to agriculture residential will not be detrimental to county residents' health, safety, or welfare, as no critical concerns were identified or raised during the plan review. And the findings. This proposal is in general conformance with the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. The proposal meets the criteria for approval in the Elbert County zoning regulations. The proposal is compatible with existing and allowable land uses in the surrounding area. 4, the proposal will not result in significant impact to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents and surrounding land users. Therefore, findings from Elbert County Planning. Elbert County Planning recommends to the Planning Commission and the Board of County Commissioners to approve the requested rezoning. In this case, just the Board of County Commissioners to approve the requested Schluter rezone RZ-22-003, subject to the following conditions. The applicant will be required to remove the public hearing sign within 7 days of a decision. The rezoning shall not become effective until all fees are paid, conditions of approval are met, and the exhibits are recorded. And 3, recordation of all appropriate documentation is to occur within 180 days of the Board of County Commissioners' approval. Thank you for your time, and I will bring the exhibits for this rezoning to the screen. As you can see in the northwest corner is the direct link tower with the easements, the existing structures, and just a quick look at the potential minor plat if the minor plat is approved. Again, that's an administrative decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Any questions for staff? No, just the same one I had previously. If the recommendation from Planning Commission was unanimous, and if not, what were the objections noted?
There were no objections noted for this one. There were present all the Planning Commission staff.
Thank you. I'd like to invite the applicant rep forward to provide any other additional information you may have, and we may have some questions for you.
Chairman and members of the board, my name is Camille Courtney. Our office represents the property owners. We don't have any concerns. We are in compliance and agreement with all the conditions of approval. Staff's done a great job. They've been very responsive. So if you have any questions of us, we'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions for the applicant? I'll open for public comment in a moment, but if there are no other concerns to bring you back, do you accept the conditions that were?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'll open for public comment at this time. Do we have anybody? Yes, ma'am. If you could, just your name and address for the record.
My name is Shelley Brock. I live at 995 Stone Point Circle here in Elizabeth, 80107, which is directly across. My objection isn't, I agree that, you know, anybody that owns property should be able to do whatever they want as long as they meet all the criteria. But I moved out to, into that area 17, well actually it's almost 19, in 2004, so it's almost 20 years ago that I moved out there. And it seems like we keep changing the area so badly. I mean, Elizabeth itself has changed so much that the traffic, I know you say there's no impact on traffic, but every time you reference one of these other areas, all those other areas were there before ours was put in, which is only the 40-acre, 10-acre lots. So how long out do you go? What's the criteria to say, okay, well, you have these right here, but is there a criteria for a length of time that something has been subdivided out into other areas? Is there that? Is there, I know Douglas County also has some limitations on how much they can actually break a lot down to, you know, on these larger lots. Like the one that was here before, they were doing 30-acre lots for the area. Can we ever get to something like that so we can actually keep some agricultural open land for the agricultural that we need? We don't have hardly any cows out anymore. We have a very difficult time at our house even to get somebody to come and mow our small acreage to be able to sell the hay for that. I hate to see all of that move from another country, you know, another state, because the gas prices are so high now. And you know, you also have on here where you don't have the health. You know, we have the, what do you call it? The Dust Bowl area, you know, I mean, it becomes like a dust bowl out there. And so I would think that that is a health issue. I mean, when you have all of that dust come up and things, that's got to be a health issue. Not to me personally, because I don't have asthma or COPD, but all of that. So my question would be, are we ever going to get that road paved around that area to lighten some of that? We have big, huge trucks going through all the time that are tearing up our roads to be able to get these developments done. So anyway, that's my point. I would just really like to get some of those answers, and because this affects me a little bit,
Yeah.
and also my neighbors.
Okay.
So, thank you.
I appreciate you coming out today, ma'am, and thank you. I think, well, first, do we have any other public comment? If not, I'll close public comment at this time. I appreciate the concerns you have. I don't think they are ones that I would call on staff or the applicant to address. Those really do belong on our side of the table. I am one of your neighbors. I'm actually the south. Well, you just passed me right there. So I'm familiar with the concerns you have with dust and the roads in the area. Obviously Heidemann through up 915 to town is kind of a main route to those that are traveling through Black Forest and back and forth. That is in the transportation plan in the 2030 to 2032 timeframe for paving. Yes. So, which seems like a long time from now, but it's 2023. So, and we generally try to stay on track with that, but also recognize that completing that paving will also make it a more attractive area for folks that are looking for a place to live. So it is a balancing act. You know, Mr. Heidemann subdivided the land I live on, probably yours at one point too. So it is a progression. I'd open this up to fellow commissioners if you have anything. Yeah. So recognize it as a concern. 10 and 20 acre lots are, I think, more palatable than denser. So the chances of further subdivision happening below 10s is pretty limited. I don't see even more density coming. The 35s that are south of that certainly used to be one single property, and we would see cattle moving back and forth on County Road 5. But the state doesn't allow county processes to control down to the 35 acre level. So we see a lot of larger ranches over time being broken into 35s. That's something that can be done with a surveyor and just recording deeds. So it is something we need to keep an eye on. As you said, every, one or two new homes doesn't add a lot of traffic over time. 1s and 2s and 3s start to add up, but that also is what drives our traffic planning and hits the triggers for pavement requirements. So it is probably something that keeps all of us up at night as we try to work through supporting people's property rights, those that are currently here and future residents. So I thank you for bringing the comments up. But thanks. So if there isn't anything else anyone would like to add, I'd accept a motion or more commentary.
Yeah, just a quick comment is, once it's divided into 10 acres, it's hard for it ever to be subdivided further. Because in Elbert County, if you have lot size less than 10 acres, then you have to have either a central sewer system or a central water system. So that would mean that you'd have to amalgamate just about all of your neighbors together to make something like that financially feasible.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Schluter rezone RZ 220003 with the conditions of approval listed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the Schluter rezone with the conditions that were presented. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I'd accept a motion to close public hearing on this item.
Mr. Chair, I move we close the public hearing on Schluter rezone RZ 22-0003.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to close public hearing on this item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, we are closed. There's no other business before us today, so I would accept a motion to adjourn for the day.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn our BOCC meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you. And thank you, Danny.